We're going to be demonstrating how to use this awesome tool called MakerCase to design a laser cuttable box and then pull that file into Adobe Illustrator to get it ready for actual laser cutting. So MakerCase is available at this link right here, so it's en.makercase.com, and they give you a few options: simple boxes, end-sided boxes. Now these boxes with rounded corners, which is achieved by lots of thin cuts that make your material flexible to some extent, and boxes with dividers. So most of what we do falls under simple boxes, so we're going to choose that. Now all of our laser cuttable materials in the lab are 1/8 inch thickness, and that's the default, so we can leave that alone, but we want to give it the dimensions of our box. Now we do pretty much everything in millimeters in the Catalyst lab. You can choose to either specify the outside dimensions of the box or the inside, and it will adjust for that 3 millimeter thick material. So let's say I wanted a box who was 12 centimeters wide by 6 centimeters tall by 14 centimeters or 144 millimeters deep on the outside. I could just as easily click to inside dimensions. My box, you'll notice, gets slightly larger to accommodate that. So we'll leave it at outside. We want an open-topped box in this case, but you can choose closed. And then one really important change to help us with assembly is we want to choose finger joints. And this creates these nice little tabs and slots that make assembling your box really easy because it lines up with itself. It doesn't rely on you sliding along any of these axes to just the right spot. So we're going to choose finger slots. You can adjust their size. I think the default size here looks just fine. We'll go about that number of slots. It might even be overkill. So we've got a box that looks good. We're going to hit download box plans. I usually choose to disable the panel labels because they only fit together one way anyway, and it's usually pretty easy to figure out which is the bottom versus the sides and so on. Everything else in this menu we can leave totally untouched, and we're going to choose to download the SVG version. So technically that's laser cuttable, but we want to go ahead and arrange it and modify it and things to get it ready for actual laser cutting. So we're going to open Adobe Illustrator. We're going to create a new file, and we want to make sure first of all that we're working in centimeters. So the wood we stock and the acrylic we stock in the lab comes in 30 by 30 centimeter panels. The wood actually also comes in a 60 by 30 centimeter panel. The acrylic does not. So you can either go 30 by 30, or if it's wood, we can go up to 60 by 30. And some boxes are a little bigger and require this double-sized panel. So we've created an artboard that is 60 centimeters wide by 30 centimeters tall. That's the actual size of our piece of wood. So what we're going to do now is go to File, Place, or hit Command-Shift-P, and we're going to drop in that box file. So it'll just be called box.svg when you download it. So we'll hit place, and then this part's really important. What you don't want to do is click and drag, because that will resize your box and it won't come out the dimensions you gave it. Instead, you just click once somewhere in your artboard and you'll notice your box plans pop up. They look pretty good. While you've got it selected, a couple things I usually like to do. One is give it both a fill and a stroke using this default fill and stroke button or hitting the letter D, and then change the stroke color over here from black to red since this is going to be cut. But that allows you to click on the inside of the box. The other thing I would do is just make sure the stroke is at 1 point, not some strange super thin or super wide margin. Just makes it easier to work with. So this generally looks good. Now to save material, what we like to do is to put everything up at the corners of the board so we leave as much of this unused material usable for other projects as possible. So you can achieve that by clicking once, hovering over the corner, and then I'm going to hold Shift and click and rotate. And that holding Shift will make it snap to these even increments. Now what we can do is click on our box and align it to the left and the top of our artboard. Now this leaves all this wood can be used for another project. You can actually double click and go into this, or just use the ungroup button twice. But now I can drag these away from each other. Sometimes it makes sense to lay things out differently than MakerCase chooses. Sometimes it will put things in strange orientations. So, you might have a reason to stack your box panels more like this. And we definitely can move them closer together than they were by default, because our laser cutter is totally fine to cut things that are really, really near each other. So I might move these closer together, and just kind of shift things around until I'm happy with the way that I'm going to utilize the material. So this looks like it's fitting nicely at one end of my board. I definitely didn't end up needing this longer board. I could have done this on a 30 by 30 centimeter board for this particular box. So just like that. So when you've got your box laid out, if you choose to, you can always add labels using the text tool. You can resize those, and we just want to make sure they appear in black so that we can engrave them. But that's the basics of getting a box from MakerCase ready to laser cut in Illustrator. So my last step would just be to go to File, Save As, choose on my computer, and I would call this Mitchell Greist box, so that when you submit it for laser cutting, it's clear whose file this is, and hit Save, either Downloads, Documents, wherever you want to put it, so that you can find it for emailing to your instructor. And that should be all.